Life often feels like a ship being tossed around on rough seas, and the chaos inside us often mirrors what's going on outside. Every day we have to deal with waves of happiness and sadness, success and failure, and too often, our feelings tell us what to do. On the other hand, we can find a deep stillness and a source of power within ourselves. It's about realizing what our responses are really about and remembering how powerful it is to choose our own path, no matter how our emotions are feeling. We are being asked to master our inner landscape on this trip. A strong truth lies at the heart of what it means to be human. Our feelings do not naturally control our thoughts. We naturally have the power to choose how to react to any strong feeling. Think about a big wave hitting the shore. The wave is the feeling, which is strong and might be too much at times. You are not the sand that is swept away, though. You are the steady shore, watching the wave, recognizing its presence, and then choosing how to stay strong. We're not trying to hide our feelings. We're just trying to understand the important space between what happens and how we respond to it. No matter how small, that space is where our freedom lives. At this point, we can stop, take a deep breath, and make a choice. There may be times when we feel angry, but we don't have to yell right away. We can be scared, but we don't have to run away without giving it some thought. This understanding gives me a lot of freedom. It means that we are not just slaves of how we feel inside. We can build a better, more resilient self because we are in charge of our inner world. We have a choice every time a feeling comes up, to act without thinking or to think about it and act with purpose. This choice gives us the most power. It changes us from people riding the emotional roller coaster to people who control it and steer it with knowledge and calm. We can always use this power because it is close at hand. When we accept this fact, it changes how we feel about ourselves and the world around us. It gives us the strength to live with meaning and peace, no matter what happens in the outside world. To find more inner peace, you need to start with a simple but profound practice. Learning to notice your feelings without responding to them right away. Imagine that you are a careful and interested expert, and feeling comes to the surface, like anger or sadness. You don't become that anger or sadness right away. You just notice it. As you watch it, it's like seeing clouds move across the sky. You recognize that it's there without judging it or calling it good or bad. Putting this between you and the feeling is very important. It lets the strong energy of the feeling pass through you instead of taking over and controlling what you do. Observing without reacting is like telling a feeling, "I see you, but you are not me. You are a temporary visitor." This pause, this moment of mindful observation, is very powerful. At that point, the automatic chain of stimulus and reaction is broken. This keeps you from saying things you will later regret or making snap decisions based on how you feel. It makes room for knowledge and reason to come in. Picture a kid throwing a fit. When you get angry or frustrated right away, things usually get worse. But things often turn out very differently if you just watch, recognize their feelings without judging them, and let the storm pass. The same is true for our inner lives. We can develop a deep sense of inner calm by training ourselves to just observe our emotional surroundings. We stop being thrown around by every change inside us and start to stand firm, rooted in our truth. One mindful breath at a time, this exercise gives us the power to take back control of our inner world. For more inner control, this is the first step. Knowing that feelings are only temporary impressions is one of the most important things you can learn that will help you a lot. They are not lasting parts of who we are. They are just passing through. Imagine that the sun is shining brightly one minute, and then a cloud moves over and casts a shade. The sun then breaks through again. The feeling is like a cloud. It's only there for a short time. Similarly, a wave hits the beach with a lot of force, but it quickly goes back into the ocean and disappears. The wave is the strong emotion, but you are the deep ocean, which stays the same over time. This point of view is very comforting when you are going through a lot of pain. It's easy to think that when we're feeling too much fear or sadness, that feeling will last forever and shape our whole lives. But knowing that it's only brief lets us breathe, because we know that this too will pass. It helps us be patient and strong. You can't base long-term choices on short-term feelings because of it. Having this knowledge also makes our feelings less powerful. When we know that something is only temporary, it's less likely to take over our lives. We can ride the wave because we know it will finally peak and go away. The feeling itself doesn't make us feel like ourselves. We don't say, "I am angry," but "I am experiencing anger." This small change in language shows a big change in how we see things. It helps us remember that our real selves are stable and constant, while our emotions are just short-lived experiences. This understanding is a key part of inner peace because it frees us from the control of changing feelings and ties us to our deeper, more stable selves. To really take control of your inner world, you need to become more self-aware and figure out what makes you feel bad. This is like turning your mind into a detective. Situations, words, or thoughts that always make you feel very strongly affect you? Is it a certain kind of criticism? Is it that you feel ignored? Is it a certain voice tone? It could be certain conversations with other people or even just the quiet hum of your own thoughts. You can learn a lot about yourself by giving close attention to these patterns. It's not about blame, it's about getting it. If you know what sets you off, you can either get ready for them, try to avoid them, or most importantly, decide how you want to react when they do happen. Just like when you know where the potholes are on the road, you can either avoid them or get ready to hit them. Knowing yourself better lets you live a proactive instead of a reacting life. Say you know that being rushed makes you nervous, you can plan your mornings to give yourself more time. If someone always gets angry about a certain subject, you can mentally get ready for that conversation, or even choose to avoid it. Being aware of these responses also shows the beliefs or weaknesses that may be driving them. Often, our triggers are signs of greater insecurities or assumptions that we haven't thought through. By making people aware of these problems, we can start to fix them from the inside out instead of just treating the symptoms. Self-discovery is a strong tool for personal growth that you can use over and over again. Having more control over your feelings makes you more intentional about your life and less likely to be caught off guard by them. In this way, possible problems can be turned into chances to learn more and become stronger inside. One of the most freeing things you can do in life is to figure out what you can control and what you can't. Being calm inside starts with having this understanding. Picture yourself with two bags in your hands. In one, you put everything that you really have control over, like your thoughts, your decisions, your actions, your character, and your reactions. In the other basket, you put everything that you can't change, like the weather, other people's views, the past, the future, illnesses, the economy, or things that come up out of the blue. We feel a lot of stress and anger when we try to control things that belong in the second basket. We worry about what other people think of us, what will happen in the future, or mistakes we made in the past that we can't change. This waste of energy is tiring and pointless. One of the deepest feelings of peace comes when we only think about things that are in our control. We stop fighting fights we can't win. We focus our valuable energy on the things that really matter and can make a difference, the decisions and actions we take. This doesn't mean we stop caring about the world. It just means we deal with it carefully. We still do what we can, but we let go of the need to control the result. For instance, you can decide how hard you work on a project, but not if your boss will accept it. You can choose how nice you are to someone, but not how they will respond. This difference helps you understand your mission and stops you from worrying all the time. It builds a wall of calm inside you that makes you less vulnerable to the changing winds of outside events. When you accept this truth, you feel incredibly strong because you know that your most important asset, your inner peace, is always with you. When strong emotions hit you out of the blue, using your mind to fight them is a powerful tool. You don't have to deny your feelings, you just have to question them, look into what makes them up, and make sure they are in line with what is true and helpful. Think of a feeling that rises quickly, like anger. You don't let it instantly control what you say or do. Instead, you pause. After that, you ask yourself, is this anger based on facts or on an interpretation? Is this interpretation correct? Is this feeling serving me? Is it helping me reach a positive outcome? You use logic to deal with your emotional urge. For instance, if someone insults you, your first feeling might be defensiveness or anger. But if you take a step back and think about it, you might realize that the person was wrong or didn't mean any harm. Maybe what they said was just their opinion and doesn't make you less important. You can see through the original emotional fog with the help of reason. In this way, you can find the assumptions that may be driving your thoughts. A lot of the time, strong feelings are caused by false beliefs or irrational fears. You can take away an emotion's power by questioning these principles. This inner conversation is a very important skill. It's like having a calm, wise counselor inside your head who keeps you from making snap choices and pushes you to think things through. It helps you answer with virtue instead of just reacting. This practice makes you more self-controlled and helps you learn more about who you are. It turns you into a master of your thoughts instead of a slave to your urges. By constantly using reason, you build a deep inner stability that lets you handle tough situations with clarity and calm instead of letting emotional storms sweep you away. The most powerful and life-changing thing you can do to develop lasting inner calm is to think every day. Thinking isn't enough. You need to intentionally think about it and check in with your inner world. Plan to have some quiet time every morning or evening, or maybe even both. You could get ready for the day in the morning. You can practice in your mind how you want to handle possible problems, which will help you remember your values and goals. This sets a tone of being proactive instead of just responding to whatever comes your way. You can think of it as making a plan before you set sail. In the evening, the focus changes from reflection to review. You can take a moment to think about your day. What went well? Where did you meet your best self? Where did you trip? Did you ever act without thinking? Why do you think that is? What could you have done differently to be smarter and calmer? This isn't about judging yourself. It's about getting better. It's an ongoing process of getting better and learning new things. By doing this over and over, you learn a lot about your habits, your triggers, and your progress. You get to know yourself better and learn about your strengths and places where you can improve. This daily break clears your mind of the day's mess and strengthens your resolve to master your inner self. It's like taking care of a garden. Regular attention makes sure it grows well. These short moments of thought add up over time, creating a strong inner wall of peace. You become more aware of your inner state, better able to control your feelings and thoughts, and more stable in a calm state, no matter what is going on around you. To really build mental strength, we have to accept and welcome discomfort instead of always trying to avoid it. By its very nature, life is full of problems, setbacks, and times that are just plain bad. Many of us naturally avoid these things because we think that being happy means never having to deal with pain. But real strength doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from facing it with understanding and bravery. Think of a muscle. It doesn't get stronger by not working hard. It gets stronger by being pushed and tested. Our minds are alike. We train our mental muscles when we voluntarily put ourselves through small discomforts, like taking a cold shower, walking in the rain, or fighting a short-lived craving. By practicing this, we are showing ourselves that pain is not a threat. It's just a feeling that we can handle. As part of this process, we also change how we think about problems. Challenges don't have to get in the way of our happiness. Instead, they can help us grow, learn, and become stronger as people. A tough talk, a project that doesn't go as planned, or a time of uncertainty are not signs of failure. They show how strong we are. When we accept our pain, it loses its power to control us. Our awareness has grown that we can handle a lot more than we usually think we can. To accept pain doesn't mean to lose touch with it. It means to recognize it, feel it, and then choose how to react without letting it take over. When we do this, we gain a deep inner strength and a quiet faith that we can handle anything life throws at us. This practice of building resilience changes us from weak people who get thrown off by small problems into strong people who can handle life's roughest waves with ease. When you learn to separate your personality from your emotional highs and lows, you can see things in a whole new way. I am happy or I am sad doesn't really describe who we are, as many of us think. We let the quick changes in our emotions shape our sense of self-worth and who we are at our core. However, your real self, your unchanging essence, is not affected by whether you are happy or sad right now. It doesn't change and goes much deeper than any fleeting feeling. Think about an actor who plays many parts. They could show a lot of anger in one scene, a lot of sadness in another, and a lot of happiness in yet another. The feelings don't belong to the actress, they belong to the character. This actor is always the same person, no matter what part they play. In the same way, you are the aware observer, the actor going through these emotional parts, but you are not the roles themselves. You can keep a healthy distance once you know this. You don't have to become a strong feeling when it hits you, whether it's exhilarating happiness or deep sadness. You can recognize it and feel it. You do not have to think that that feeling takes over your whole being. This separation gives you a lot of freedom. Not being able to do something doesn't make you a failure, and being sad doesn't make you a sad person. Your worth, your character, and your basic nature stay the same. This makes it easier to be stable and accept yourself. It breaks you out of the exhausting loop of always looking for emotional highs to feel good about yourself, or always being afraid of emotional lows because they make you question who you are. Your real self is a calm, stable center that can feel all emotions without being limited or defined by any of them. This knowledge gives you the strength to live with a strong sense of who you are. The last step in taking control of your inner world is to train your mind to react with thought instead of feeling. This is the end result of all the lessons that came before it, woven into a live practice. Practicing this means making it a habit to stop, think, and then decide on a smart and logical thing to do, even when strong emotions are present. It's not about ignoring your feelings until they go away. It's about changing how you deal with them. Your trained mind doesn't respond right away when an outside event or an inside trigger sets off a feeling. Instead, it leaves a very important hole. During that time, you pay attention to the feeling, realize that it's only temporary, figure out what might set it off, and separate it from what you can really control. Then you use reason to fight any illogical thoughts that might be making you feel worse. This thoughtful reaction means that instead of giving in to the urge, you choose to do things that are in line with your deepest values and your long-term health. It could mean staying calm instead of yelling, going for a walk instead of dwelling on your anger, or letting go of a loss instead of giving up. This is an ongoing process, a path to get better, not a final goal. When you choose a thoughtful answer over an emotional one, you make the connections in your brain stronger for wisdom and self-control. You are changing your brain in a real way. This training gives you a lot of inner strength, which makes you less reactive and more aggressive in your life. It means that you are shaping your personality on purpose, living with purpose, and going through life with a deep feeling of inner mastery. As a result, you take charge of your life and choose how to react with knowledge and calm. This gives your life meaning and deep peace,